Welcome back to the Outreach Project family. This is Josh.
This is Zach.
We're joined with
Dave Richmond.
Dave Richmond. Man, it's been a while since we've been in the studio, we can call it.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. About a month. Our last guest was David. Really cool gentleman. Now we have an even cooler, not even cooler, but we have an equally cool Dave.
This is our third Dave.
I think we've had four.
I don't know.
We've had some Daves. Common name.
It's a good name.
Dave, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe what you do for work, and then
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a school teacher. Used to be a high school math teacher, middle school math teacher. Now I'm a teacher in our alternative school here at Willie County Consolidated Schools, and just work with Jim Sittler and just kids that have need a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Got in trouble doing stuff that other kids are doing, and they just happen to get caught, and just loving on them. And just teaching. I stepped away from teaching for a few years, and I didn't realize how much of a call on my life it was until I stepped away, and I felt the draw back to. So I've been back. This is my third year back teaching.
Yeah.
So.
What else do you do? I see your face up on some banners in town.
So sell a little bit of real estate, do some remodeling, just a little bit of everything. Help people.
You go to Florida for some staining?
Yeah. If the job takes me to Florida, I go there. So
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, that's cool. And then tell us a bit about your family and maybe some church involvement, what you do here.
Yeah, so my wife, Kristen, is a nursing professor at Grace College. So she's in charge of the nursing department at Grace. Then I've got Lily. She's a senior. She plays soccer, runs track. Landon is a sophomore, plays basketball. And then Logan is an 8th grader, football, plays basketball, and plays golf.
Oh.
Yep.
It's the greatest sport ever.
It is a really good sport. It makes you mad, but it's a really good sport.
Oh, my gosh. What's the maddest you've been on the golf course?
I don't get mad too often.
You can't say that on here, can you? Zach's been mad on the golf course. What's the maddest you've been?
Do you throw your clubs, Zach?
I've had a lot of club throws that went farther than the ball. Just say that.
All right, we got to expose your last funny golf shot back on. We played Bridgewater. Have you played there?
Yeah.
It was a par 3 right after hole 9. It was hole 10.
It was hole 11.
Hole 11. It was hole 11, par 3. We'll throw it up on the screen for our viewers.
It was videotaped?
No, we'll put the hole. We'll draw a little diagram. It should have been videotaped. But the tee box, just imagine a tee box, and then there's the previous hole green to our right. And then the cart path kind of heading down in between the green and the tee box. And then the hole shoots that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A little bit. So our buddy Drew's first up on the tee. Hits a good shot. I don't even think it went on, though. Zach's up. And then this couple drives the cart down the cart path. They're like right here. We're right here on the tee box. Zach hits the ball and it shoots right at them. But it doesn't. It's not like a line drive. It trickles up the cart path fairly fast though. And I go 4. They're like, why in the world would you say that? We're to the right of you, 30 yards.
They're right here. There's the bridge right here. Went right at
It hit the cart-ish.
It did not hit the cart.
It hit the left side of the cart.
Did not hit the cart.
It brisked against the cart.
Anyway.
But the dude pretended to jump out of the way like a hurricane was coming at him.
And then a couple holes later, I'm teeing off again. He's 50 yards behind. He's like, am I good back here?
It doesn't sound as funny without being there. But, man, I did not know how I was going to hit a shot after that. But then I nailed it, so that was cool. But we're avid golfers. I love seeing another golfer on this podcast. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. You grew up here in Columbia City.
So yeah, we went to a little church across from, I guess, Walmart, Bob Evans, till I was like 15.
Okay.
So it's
Is it
Columbia City Church of Christ.
It's still there?
Yep, still there on the corner. My dad was really involved there, led songs, and did a lot of stuff because there's only, I don't know, depending on the year, between 50 and 100 people there. And so he was an elder all the time, it seemed like. And then we moved here when I was a freshman in high school. And so...
Here as in First Church?
First Church. So I've been here since I was 15. So, yeah. And witnessed my dad, every morning doing devotions. Just... if I got up at 6 o'clock, he was in there reading and praying, and just having somebody to watch, and he modeled what it was to be a follower. So
yeah. So let's rewind a bit. You graduated from Columbia City.
Columbia City, yep.
Then you went to Grace College.
So I went to Grace for a year.
Yep.
And then took 4 years off and didn't know what I wanted to do. And then during that time, Chris and I got married. Went down and she finished nursing school at Ball State. And then as soon as she wasn't done yet. We were actually in school together for a semester.
At Ball State?
She was at Ball State and I went back to Grace.
Okay.
So she was actually doing her clinicals in Columbia City. We were living with my parents, and I was driving to Grace, and she was doing her clinicals and going to Ball State. And so then I started back up, and Coach K at Grace gave me my scholarship back. And
Coach K, like from Duke?
No, the other Coach K. So yeah, gave me my scholarship back, and I played 3 more years there.
Yeah.
It was really good. I went back with a new perspective on, life, and I was 23 or 24, and it was good going in, being the older guy, and just being able to mentor 18-year-olds that were coming right out of high school. So they called me Grandpa on the team. We had actually Russ Moore's son-in-law was on the team, and his name's Luke Sefton, and he would call me Grandpa, so everybody started calling me Grandpa on the team. So.
What impact did Grace have on your faith at that time?
I think I needed it. I was just kind of, I don't know. You're young and you didn't, and we came to church, but we weren't involved.
Yeah.
I went back to Grace, and I think it might have been Kevin Jordan and his wife Jill got us involved in their small group, and
great people.
When we came back and lived here, they got us into their small group, and then we started helping on Sunday nights with 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Mm-hmm. So Chris and I and Kevin and Jill, that's what we did on Sunday nights, and so yeah.
Yeah, and then you've obviously had a lot of years since then.
Not obviously. Come on now.
My bad.
Yeah, just
he was a grandpa at 23, bro.
That's true.
Just a few years. I'm not that old yet.
Yeah. What did you teach that whole time after college?
So I taught for, I think it was 11 years. I taught at Huntington North was my first 2 years, and I coached basketball at Central Noble, was there for 2 years, and then I went to DeKalb for 2 years, and I was at Eagle Tech for 5 then.
Really? You were an Eagle Techer? For
5 years, yep. I was the second group of teachers in class. That's when mm-hmm. So the first year kids that were freshmen, they were sophomores when I started at Eagle Tech.
Okay.
So
how was that different than other teaching?
I think the culture is the big thing. It was so small. It was like, it's kind of like a small school inside a big school. It was in the culture. Brady he turned the culture into something that was really awesome.
He was the culture.
He
brought the culture.
I mean, and I think you can see it at the high school now. I mean, he he just does a really good job leading people, and so
That's his calling for sure.
yeah, oh yeah,
Great guy.
yep.
Was Eagle Tech your last teaching gig until?
So when I left Eagle Tech, I just started doing. I worked for my brother for a little while. Then I just started doing work on my own.
Yeah.
I remodeled Brad Miller's house when they did
Okay.
theirs, and so just electrical work. And then I was building a house right out here in front of the church, and Habitat got my name and wanted to know if I'd come work for them as their director of construction. So I went and worked there for 2 years.
Huh.
And then I just felt the call back into the classroom.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad. I'm glad my time at Habitat was awesome, but students are my passion. So
Okay. You say this call a few times now. What's that feel like, and what's Describe it.
You just feel like there's something missing.
okay?
Like I felt like, not that Habitat, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was just, felt like I was doing my job, going home, and when I teach, I think I worry about my kids when I'm not with them, and so I just know that it's more than just showing up from 8 to 3 and teach. It's getting there early to make sure they got breakfast, and going to their games afterwards. And I'm involved I help at football games, I help at basketball games, and anything else they need help. I just love being involved in letting kids know I'm there for them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
So, what got you into the alternative school? Like, where did that come about?
So I got a phone call in the summer, 2 summers ago, and said, "Hey, we're starting an alternative school. Would you be willing to apply for it?"
Was that a gym phone call?
No, it was.
You don't have to say if you can.
It was Kyle Nelson called me and just
okay.
said, "Are you interested in applying for it?" So I applied for it, and it's been really good. When I left, I told him, I said, "If you ever start an alternative school, I'll come back." And I just always I have a draw to kids that maybe don't have what I had at home when I was a kid. Parents that would do anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can be that as a teacher, I tell them, I said, my email. If you are somewhere that you don't feel comfortable, you can always email me and we'll figure out a way to get you home. So that's the most important thing, is like letting them know that you care about them, and will you truly, what you say, will you do it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Is it at the high school building?
So we were at Marshall last year.
Yeah.
But they moved us into the middle school because Kyle's my boss, so
Yeah.
that way he can be in the classroom. And they have a big room in there that they weren't using. So
And you teach everything, or
so Jim and I help them with everything. I teach them math. So what I do for math is that there might be a video, but I'm like, I just work it out on a board for them and show them how to do it. But all the other stuff, we watch the videos with them and try to help them. Like, it may be English one day, it may be like today was government, and so it's random stuff. So I'm learning on the fly.
you don't have like a set curriculum, or?
So you remember Apex when you were in school? Did you ever?
I didn't have it, but
It's like an online, but it's a version of Apex. It's called Edmentum now. And so it's not so dry as Apex is. There's videos, and so they just work through on their own until they need help. And so some kids need more help than others, and
that's fine.
yeah.
How many teachers are there in the school? Is
So
it just you and
it's just Jim and I.
Just you and Jim?
So we got up to
And Kyle.
Well, Kyle is our administrator,
Yeah.
so he's in charge of, or he's a assistant principal for the whole school, and then he just oversees our program too. And so I'm there all day. Jim's there 5 hours a day, so I'm there in the afternoon by myself. So for just a couple hours, and so since I have a PE license too, we get them their PE credit. And we're doing weights right now, so I don't know if we can get them. It's either going to be PE credit or a weights credit, so we can get them.
Whatever, yeah.
Get them, because not all, but a lot of them are behind on their credits. So just giving them a win, like how do we get your first credit? How do we? So yeah, some of them are doing really well before they come to us, and some of them are just falling behind.
Yeah.
So.
Is it all high school students or is there middle school students?
So there is a chance to have middle school, yes. Yeah. So last year we had up to 19 students and we had 4 middle schools. So, and then this year we have 1 middle school and we have some high school students. So,
is this something students can transition out of?
No. So, transition out of?
Yeah.
Yes. Their first semester with me is full time. Their second semester can be, if they do well their first semester, then they can go to like Wawasee for trade, or they can go to the high school for half a day and then come to me for half a day, or back to the middle school for half the day. Just trying to help. And then when they come to me, we can help them with their homework that they have from their classes.
That's
so
neat.
Just trying to, so they don't get behind on they can come to us. It's like, not like a study hall because they have a class with me too, but Jim and I can say, hey, what do you need help with from your 4 classes from the high school or the middle school? So
it's a lot more personable too. You're with them.
And that's the thing is like, not that it's 1-on-1, but it's 1-on-5 or 1-on-6, and we can really and I'm with them all day. So think of when you're in elementary, all day with somebody, you really get to know who they are.
Yeah.
So we get to really just help them with life stuff, like how to get your driver's license, how to anything that we can help them. So,
have you seen God work through this at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like what?
I mean, just we have a meal at Thanksgiving and a meal at Christmas, and I called my parents' small group and I said, hey, I went and talked to their small group and I said, thinking about doing a Thanksgiving dinner. Would you guys be willing to? And they jumped right on. Their small group brought in a 5-course meal and just loved on them. They came in and served them the food and talked to them, and just so there's so many people outside of my classroom that come in and pour into them. Like I don't know, Wes and Brady Mullet's mom volunteered her time last year to help kids with writing papers, and
cool, because
she was she was an English teacher, and so she would just anytime we needed her, I would just call her and say, hey, we got one that's struggling with whatever, and she'd come in and help them. So just and Mr. Nelson we just get people background checks and they come in and just help kids, and so it's awesome. And we've got other agencies that come in and help with life skills, and Krista Pope comes in and just does an awesome job helping them with life stuff too. So it's like tag team, like next person comes in and just loves on the kids, so it's awesome.
Are you able to be open with faith at all, or
if they ask, we don't get real, but they know there's something different. And encourage them. Like if you want to go to church, we tell them where we go to church at, and we'll meet you there. And so
come sit by us.
Yeah. Here's the time I attend church, and if you want to come, yeah.
Sure. Hey, they might be listening. If you're listening, you're one of Dave's students, you want to come to church, and maybe you don't want to sit with an older gentleman, you don't
want to sit with Grandpa.
You can message us, we have an Instagram, Facebook. You're probably not on Facebook, but message, and we'd love to sit with you too, and whatever. Maybe they're not listening. Depends how cool they think you are, but...
They might find out about it and want to tease me in class.
I know your kids are listening. What's the difference? You probably get this a lot between Troy and your school.
So I don't think there's this is inside the school system still. Okay. So the difference is we transition them back into Columbia City Schools.
Okay.
where they stay and graduate from Troy. So technically, they're still a Columbia City student
and graduate.
and they'll graduate from
Yep.
Columbia City. So they're just stepping out of the classroom because they got in trouble. And it could be a semester, it could be 2. They can't be with me for longer than 2 semesters. That's long.
What happens if they need to be?
Well, right now it's only so. Hopefully, first semester we've got them going in the right direction. Second semester we're transitioning them back into something.
Yeah.
And they're just with. They may not. Some of them didn't even come back to me second semester. They did really well.
Oh, just full.
And they went right back.
Okay.
Some, whether it's a parent or they just decided they just needed to stay, or whatever the case, or they came to me with only a month left in the school year, and we felt like they needed to come back, so they were with me a little longer in gym. So,
Okay. And then say they come back to you for that second semester, and then they may not be ready. Is that?
hopefully they're ready.
Yeah.
They have to go back based on, I don't know if it's I can't remember if it's a law or they can only be with us for
like credits
or
something.
No, I think it's the way our alternative school was set up, is that they can only be with us for 2 semesters. There's no extra time.
Okay.
Yep.
So then it would be a judgment from.
Yeah, and sometimes after that first semester, they're able to go back, and parents are just like, they're doing so well with you. Can they be there just half day or
Yeah.
so?
Which is really cool to see. Maybe some parents appreciating you.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that was the parents really. Think about it. If you're getting 2 teachers to, 19 kids, and we're able to really dig in and help them, and I think out of I think it was like 60 credits or 58 credits, we only had 2 credits that we didn't get. So, we were over 90-some% on getting credits. So, not that that's what we're there for. We want them to get credits. We want them to just be better in life. And so.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Let's touch on some ministry involvement currently. You said you served with some children when you first started.
Yep.
You also touched a bit on your father being an elder. He's currently an elder now.
Yep.
And you're currently
stewardship
team.
Yep.
What's that look like with you guys?
Well, we're not in a ton of meetings together since we're in different, unless it's like a leadership all together. But we talk all the time. That's the great thing about my parents, is that we just grew up. We did everything together, and
They've always lived here.
Yeah.
Okay.
They moved here right before my brother was born. So I don't know, 40 some years ago, 48 years ago, maybe 49. Yeah. So, so I'm trying to think here. What was the question?
Kind of leadership team.
Leadership. So stewardship, and then I helped in high school for a long time.
Yeah.
Went on several mission trips with the high school, and then when I started my master's, I took 3 or 4 years off, or 2 or 3 years off, and then I came back on. I think it was last year, and then I host seniors at my house. Mm-hmm. My wife and I host the seniors, and it's been awesome.
Your dad's been on a student mission trip too.
He went on a middle school mission trip. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't go. Was it 3 years ago? And I said, "Well, you ask my dad. He might go. He was retired, and so he took. I think it might have been when Lily might have been an 8th grader, so it might have been 4 years ago.
Yeah, we were in high school.
Yeah, I think it was 4 years ago when Lily was in 8th grade. He went on the Muncie mission trip. So,
yeah. What's that been like, serving with students? You're around students all day. What's it like serving with them in a setting where you can probably be a bit more vocal about faith and push it a bit?
Well, I think they see me at school, and then they see me, at church, and the same person. I just may not be able to talk about as much about my faith at school as I can with them, and hopefully they see that I'm the same person no matter where I'm at. I think that's super.
That's
important.
huge.
That's super important to I don't do one thing or say one thing and do another, and so hopefully they be an example like my dad was to me. So
yeah. And then another random question, but you've talked a little bit about like your dad, for example, just said yes to going on that mission trip, and you've said yes to a few opportunities, pretty much in blind faith and trusting the Lord, and that's huge. Well, where's that come from? I know you're gonna say your dad, but like what else? What else allows you to develop that spiritual discipline of obedience?
I don't know. My wife would probably like for me to say no more often, but I just feel like I'm off in the summers. It's easy for me to say yes to a mission trip in the summer. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to go, but then I go and I'm like, man, I love when I get there. It's just, I just think about how much stuff I need to do and just being faithful that it's all going to work out. And I have a great time every time I go. So, and just the impact that you can have on students is huge.
Oh, it is.
So,
Yes. What's your favorite grade you've taught? Not like specific group, but like your favorite age group.
I like high school probably the best, and I'm drawn to students that struggle.
Yeah.
So if you struggle, that's they may not have somebody at home working with them, and hopefully I'm understanding that if there's only 15 minutes left in class, and I'm not going to give you 30 problems to go home because I know they probably aren't going to do them. Mm-hmm. So let's see if you can get 4 done. You got 4 problems to get done for tonight, and just being aware of who you've got in class and who's going to be able to help them at home, especially if it's Algebra 2 or geometry, and are they going to have anybody at home that can even help them? And so I'm really drawn to I want to be that person for them that my parents were for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's huge. What you guys, Zach?
I just think it's really cool how you indirectly, because you're in the public school system, but you indirectly use your faith to just love on students and show them God without them. I mean, eventually one day it might click for them, but I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to ask why I'm different.
Yeah.
Why does he ask me how I'm doing, or
why does he actually care?
Yeah. It's huge. So.
Yeah, I mean, our group, our Wednesday night young adult group's going through James. And that's all about acting out your faith. We're told words without action is dead faith. And you clearly proclaim faith, but then you act it out.
And then how do I show my kids to love on people?
Yeah.
That's my big thing, is like, how do I get my kids to understand how important it is to love people?
And I would say they do a darn good job of understanding that too.
Yeah.
You've raised a great family, and I know you're not going to accept the compliment.
And not that I do it right every day, but my goal is to love other people. Mm-hmm. So yeah. What's some of your wildest stories? Like
maybe something crazy you've done in life. You seem like a mellow guy right now.
Man, crazy.
Have you ever had a soda past like 8 p.m. or?
Well, if you talk to my family, they know that I like to stop at Speedway and get a Code Red. So
Oh shoot!
Wild.
Man, if my family was here, they could probably tell you some stuff. But what do we think here? Something crazy. I wouldn't like to parachute out of a plane or anything. I like to keep my feet on the ground. I don't know. I like to drive fast.
What's the fastest you've ever drove?
I don't know, probably over 130.
It's pretty fast.
we were in Las Vegas, and when I was booking our plane tickets for my family, they said you could upgrade your car for like an extra $50 or $100. So I upgraded to a BMW,
Yeah.
and it was like an 800 series. And we looked it up when we got it. It was like 115,000.
A rental car?
Drive it like a rental, huh?
And we were out in the middle of the desert, nobody around, and we just 130, 140 mile an hour. Just it was awesome.
That is awesome.
That's probably, I guess that's crazy with your family in the car.
with the whole family.
Yeah, the wildest thing Dave's ever done was spend time with his family in the desert.
No, the wildest thing I ever done was went to Speedway. Got a Code Red.
Well, maybe the wildest thing, my only speeding ticket in my life is on a mission trip.
What? Who
Yeah.
was it? Luke, the youth pastor?
Yeah,
What did he say?
it was in South Carolina. I've never had a speeding ticket before.
Were we there?
We might have been.
It would have been.
Was it the first South Carolina trip or the second one?
It was after New York City, so we went on the New York City. So how Daniel Wool was.
Oh, nah,
Nope,
man.
not
Daniel was a
So-
grandpa.
So he was New York City, and then I think it was a year or two after that.
Dude, we're still in middle school at that time.
Yeah.
So
Anyways, what's your speeding ticket?
I was going down a hill, and there was traffic everywhere. And he came through 2 lanes of traffic and got me and pulled me over. And I was with a bunch of other people, just going down a hill.
What'd he clock you at over?
I think we were going like 11 over or something.
Oh.
It wasn't terrible, no.
Not bad.
No, it was like 11 or 12. I guess it was because we were a 15-passenger van. And
Yeah, he probably thought you were sketchy.
he goes, "What are you doing in South Carolina?" I said, "Well, we're on a mission trip. I got all these kids in the car with
Can
me."
I pray with you?
Was that on the way
Lord,
there or the way
please
back?
don't
No,
give
we
me
were-
a ticket.
We were going to the job site that day.
Who's going to the job site?
We were going to work, like help families.
So I can see Luke either taking it as like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. What do I do? What to do? Or, we'll figure it out later. What do you
That's
do?
a problem for
No,
when we
I-
get back.
He just,
No, it was no big deal. I mean,
yeah.
I was probably in my late 30s, so
Yeah. I mean, he can't punish you.
no. I volunteered to come on the trip.
What's he gonna do? Kick you off?
Go home 12 hours home.
Speed home. Oh man.
Yeah,
That's probably
it was a little embarrassing. Like the kids in the back were like, couldn't believe we got pulled over.
Dude, you probably got made fun of.
I can't remember. I can't remember who was in the car with me.
That's bad. I will say Jim ran a red light on a mission trip and Luke like went in on him.
I remember on one of the mission trips, Jim never turned his turn signal off when he was merging on the highway. So it was just miles and just be click, click, click.
Well, how much Luke Schrader was on the South Carolina?
Dude. We were like
He was a senior.
5th, 6th grade.
Okay.
That's crazy. We actually took one of your boys on a mission trip.
Took
Cleveland.
Logan to Cleveland.
Was that Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that scare you now?
He loves mission trips.
It was actually really cool. I don't know how much he told you, but we slept in the gym.
We slept in the gym in New York City.
Yeah.
It was the hottest I've ever been in my life.
It was really hot, but we got the hoop whenever we wanted. So
We were in there with probably 6 other churches.
Wow.
oh,
It was
what's your craziest, coolest, most God experienced mission trip you've been on as a student or a leader?
we had a family in New York City that we remodeled the inside of their house. We were tearing siding off. We were siding the outside, and we were playing Lecrae music out there, and they were like, "There's Christian rap music," and they were like super. They didn't. I don't think they went to church, and
Yeah.
and I think they texted with us afterward, like other people in our group, and it was just. I think we encouraged them, and I think they started going to church. It was really good. We'd Facebook back and forth for a year or two afterwards.
Yeah.
So it was really cool we were only there for a week, but we did a lot, and
Yeah.
our kids were just awesome with them.
You almost wish you could stay longer.
Yeah. Or go back the next year and
Yeah.
to the same area and see how
Yeah.
because the hurricane hit and the insurance wouldn't cover. So that's why we were there fixing everything up, because
Okay.
a lot of those families, the insurance, for some reason, whatever, didn't have hurricane insurance or whatever it was.
Well, I wouldn't even think to have hurricane insurance in New York.
No, we were in, I think we were in what is it called? We're in one of the suburbs, so we weren't right in New York City,
Okay.
but Long Island's where we were at.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that is really neat, though.
yeah, that was one of the best. Like being able to, him and his wife were there almost every day,
Yeah.
and it was really cool to. I think he might have been laid off maybe or something because of the water damage or
Something, yeah.
and so he was there, and he'd go get us bagels, and it was awesome. He just loved on us like we were doing to him. So
Yeah. Which, I don't know, sometimes you feel bad about that, but
yeah, no, that was probably New York City was one of the best mission trips I went on.
really.
Yeah, just because the experience I had with the students I had were
How old were you?
maybe 35, 36, something like that.
Which is definitely an age where you're, I don't know, kind of still in the younger days of a family, and
Yeah. So,
it takes a lot to give up a week.
but I mean, as a teacher, you
Yeah.
got several weeks off in the summer, and as long as you don't have anything planned that week, if you know in advance, it's a little easier for us to get away. And but leaving my wife with 3 kids at home
In summer.
So if I was 35, Lily would have been 8, 6, 4.
Fun ages, huh?
So she's by herself,
Yeah.
but it's important to
Yeah.
be involved.
Yeah.
And so
I'm just trusting God with that.
yeah,
You've always been, and you're not gonna accept this either, but you've always been a man of like, and I haven't known you very long, but I've always seen you serve very well, but not really speak about necessarily your giving of time, whatever. And the basic answer is because we're called to, but I guess why not take credit? And you know what I'm saying?
like why not put out there that you do a bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's biblical to just do things without the reward. Or
Where does it say that?
I'd have to look it up. But,
The Bible? Yeah.
But I mean, it's like I don't do things to get notoriety.
Yeah.
My kids know if somebody's broke down on the side of the road, we stop and I help them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. I mean, so hopefully they see it and that they'll do the same thing. Maybe not stopping and helping people on the side of the road, but helping people in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talking but if you're actually doing, your kids see you doing it is important.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's why I think Lily wants to be a teacher. Is like she sees that that's what I do, and she sees how much of an impact you can have on your students. And not that we get paid a ton, but it's more in what you can help other people with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And, I mean, we're told the way we live isn't going to be popular or loved by the world.
Yeah.
But even just in your small household, if you can normalize it there, you're making a big difference. And definitely in the church family. I mean, we all see it, man. Like, you serve very well. And I know I personally aspire to.
It makes me feel better. Like, I probably do it selfishly because I feel better when I serve other people.
I mean,
like when I'm at the coffee shop or in the nursery, I just feel better that I've done something to help out.
that's just the right thing, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even think twice. It's like, oh, you need help? I just do it.
Yeah.
I don't.
What's your favorite thing to help out with? Would it be like construction stuff?
My favorite thing to help out with?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dishes?
No, I don't like doing dishes at all. I mean, I really like helping with young kids. So whether it's in the nursery, whether it's helping the neighbors with their, teasing their kids in the driveway or
What?
they ride around on their bikes and
Whose kids are you teasing? Foxes?
Fox's kids.
Okay.
We got I don't know if you know the Peters, and there's a bunch of kids that go up and down and I just tease them all. And I tell them, hey, there's a speed limit out
You're
here.
gonna make some kids cry, man.
No, they know. They know I'm teasing. So like, hey, you guys, there's a speed limit. You can't ride your bikes that fast. Stuff
And then they go faster.
yeah. Then they're like,
Oh man.
So.
Wild.
Well,
Wait, what you guys act? We got a favorite scripture.
Let me think here. I'm trying to think of it. Is it Isaiah 43:2? I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Look it up for me. Isaiah 43:2. It's something like I'm gonna say it wrong.
You spelled Isaiah wrong.
I can't spell it.
It's if the waters are
Do you want
yeah,
to say it?
go for it. Is it 43:2? I think is what it is.
When you go through deep waters, I will be with you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, I think that's it.
It repeats itself.
That's it.
Oh.
It's like
And
when,
then it goes-
even when times are
Yeah.
bad, he's gonna be with me. So if I keep that in my mind, like, hey, it's gonna get deep. It's gonna be tough, but I know he's gonna be with me no matter what's gonna happen. So
What's a moment in your life where you've experienced that a little bit of trouble, but God's been there?
I mean, I think as a young teacher, I think it was my fourth year teaching, after my fourth year teaching, they wanted me to coach basketball where I was at, and I didn't want to because I had young kids, and I took the job as a coach, and so I resigned as a coach, and they said, well, we don't, if you're not going to coach basketball, we don't.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So when you're at a small school, you need your teachers to do, and I understand, but
Yeah.
I didn't have a job for all summer. And so luckily, I mean, I do side work. And so luckily I had money coming in but I didn't have a job for the next school year till I think it was a week into school starting. I got a phone call from DeKalb
Yeah.
that said they had an opening in the math, and so I went and applied for it and I got it. And so
How'd they-
so that whole summer I was super worried what was I gonna do. So
How'd they know to call you?
Well, I think I applied for something else on Region 8. So you can see when somebody applies for another job.
Through all the school systems?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back then it was Region 8, and they could see that you applied. Other school corporate, like Marion's done it before to me. Like they see that you've applied somewhere else, and they'll call. So, but when I started teaching, it was hard to find a teaching job. Now you can go wherever you want.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. In 20 years, it's changed a ton, or 18. So, yeah, that was probably the hardest because she was staying home she's probably only working 1 day a week as a nurse. And so just trying to make.
I mean, a whole family with one person working 1 day a week. And then a little side job.
Yeah, I mean, I was working full time in the summer.
Okay.
I can't remember if I was working for my brother, or if we were just doing. I mean, we were doing. I only had a $400 house payment. We were.
Okay.
We figured it out.
$400 house payment. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the heck?
That was back when you could buy a house for $50,000, though, too.
I need you as my realtor.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is though. I don't know. You're younger, trusting God with finances when you're young. I mean, we can
especially when I mean, as a first year teacher, I made $29,000 a year. So like, I don't know how Chris and I made it on. We did it. We just didn't go out to dinner. We didn't get babysitters. We didn't
have much fun.
I mean, we had
like outside of
home we didn't we didn't go do hardly anything.
I mean, you didn't do anything.
My parents probably took us to dinner when we went out because we just didn't have a ton of extra money coming in. So
that summer, did you have Lily?
Yeah, we had Lily when I was a senior in high school, or a senior in college. I mean,
I'm clipping that.
So when I graduated college, I just turned 27.
Yeah.
So we had Lily when I was senior year. So then when I lost that job, we had all three of them. So Logan was probably he was born at Central Noble when I was at Central Noble. So
were you on the basketball team when you had Lily?
Yeah.
That's really why they called you Grandpa.
She went to every basketball game my senior year.
Oh yeah,
in college.
Biggest fan, huh?
Yeah, she was born in September. And we started having games 1st of November.
Yeah.
So she went to every game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. Have you watched a full podcast? You can be honest.
Have I watched a full one?
Yeah.
What was the first one you did? Who was the first person?
The first one we did was just us bull crapping
with each other about juice. First person you had on.
Jackson.
Long and Ball?
Yeah.
I think I watched that full one.
All right.
And then I watched a little bit of Dave.
Waringa?
Nope. See,
Lichty?
Yeah. Watched a little bit
I'm
of
sorry, Dave. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. But, yeah. What did you think of that one?
He shows how God can work.
It's pretty crazy.
When you...
Yeah.
I love the part in it where he said when he went into solitary confinement or whatever and there was only a Bible in there. I was like, crazy. That's awesome.
That's God, man.
Yeah. Nobody else.
Yeah. Yeah. But first off, listeners, if you're listening all the way through here and like you're a new listener, don't watch the old ones first. They're not as good.
That's a shout out all of our old guests.
No, us. Like our juice episode.
We're bad. The guests have been good.
Our Jackson episode was not good. I'm sorry. We're gonna get him back on. It's gonna be a good one.
We did talk about juice a lot in the first episode.
And we're talking about it now. Code Red, freaking Dave. But anyways, the reason I ask that is we have the same final question for all our guests as we're wrapping up here at 10:34 p.m. We just need to know your dream vacation. You can have no limitations, man. You can bring whoever, go wherever, and do whatever.
Probably be somewhere on the beach. I don't know. Actually, it'd probably be a safari.
Oh,
I'd probably go on a safari. I want to see a lion take down something, and
an elephant drink some water.
yeah, and a cheetah. I mean, that would be just awesome.
Are you going hunting or?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't like to hunt.
Yeah,
I don't like to kill anything. and while I'm there in South Africa, they have this. They have the highest elevation hole, golf hole. It's number 19 on the golf course, I think.
It's crazy.
And you hit down.
Don't you get like an absurd amount of money if you get a hole in one?
It's like I don't know what the elevation difference is, but it's huge.
There's no chance you're making it in.
I don't even know if you're gonna hit the green down there.
We'll throw up a picture. I know we've said that a few times on these golf, but it's pretty nuts. Yeah.
It sounds like we need to hit the golf course.
Let's do it. We can bring Logan. A little scramble.
He likes to play. You two against Logan and I.
Okay, that's fair.
They'd win.
Who are you bringing on the safari?
I know my wife would want to go, and my family would want to go.
Yeah. Would they want to go, or would they be invited?
I'd take them. If it was, if somebody else was paying for it.
Oh yeah.
If I was paying for it,
it's the podcast.
If I was paying for it, then I'd just take my wife.
Yeah. So at the end of the year, we're gonna raffle off all the dream vacations and give it to someone.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
That'd be crazy. We've had some nuts.
I love to snorkel, so go somewhere where I could snorkel.
You could do it out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't even know where the best place to snorkel is, but
Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah.
Australia. That'd be cool. In Africa, this is totally random, but Dude Perfect does these bucket list videos, and they went to Africa, and that trip was so similar to what you said. It looked so cool.
Yeah.
They did a safari, and then they did
We're going to South Africa to play golf.
Dude, you quit golf last time we played.
$310 for a foursome to play.
But they woke up very early, saw the sunset or sunrise on the mountain over the city in South Africa. It's cool, man. That might be my new answer as well.
You said that like 20 episodes ago.
Dude, I don't remember 20 episodes ago. It was like January. But anyways, Dave, do you have any closing thoughts? Any profound statements?
I don't have any profound statements, but thanks for having me on. It's been fun, and thanks for pouring into my youngest. So
if you need help with anything or want to connect with Dave, please reach out. This is what this is for. Grow our community. We love to see it, and we love when you guys reach out to us too.
Yeah,
we just want to keep getting this church active and community active. If you're not a member of our church, that's okay. We still love you. With that being said, I can't say we'll see you next week, but can't promise that. But
we'll see you when we see you.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh, we're out.